Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is AvrLR32 here, back to you guys again here on YouTube land. I don't know if this is going to be a permanent return or if I'm just going to be uploading every 5 years or whatever, as it has been seen in the past lately. But I wanted to bring you guys my Necloth deck. I've been testing with this deck for about 2.5, 3 months now, and I've absolutely fallen in love with this deck. Like, I have never got so in-depth with a deck before as much as this. Like, I've played a deck for, like, months on end, like, when I was playing Burial Dad back in, I think it was 2010, when we had 3 Barrel from the Different Dimension. I absolutely loved that deck. That is my favorite deck of all time. And I knew that deck inside and out. No one could play it better than me. But it's like with this deck, like it's a challenge. It has been a challenge to learn, and I've absolutely loved every second of it. Like, it's so much fun, and yes, people hate it because of how derpy it is, but don't listen to them, because I can tell you right now that those people that hate it think it takes no skill, when in actuality it does. Like, when you are trying to sit down and learn the combos and learn the loops, it's very difficult to learn at first. You really need to sit down and take your time with the deck. That's why I was playtesting a lot on Dueling Network at first, because I didn't want to have to be timed to 2 minutes on DevPro to try and figure out a play. And even now, even knowing the deck practically inside and out, trying to figure out a combo that I can use to get out of certain situations takes sometimes just a couple minutes in itself to figure out, because I have to make sure I'm doing absolutely every single thing right. So without further ado, let's jump into the deck here. A couple things that I do want to mention real quick is I'm trying to fit in a third Vanity's Emptiness, because I took Robbie's build and I just kind of tweaked with it as I went along. When he showed it in October, I mean. And I took that build and I rolled with it, and immediately I started noticing issues with it. Even just reading through the comments of the video, people were immediately noticing issues with it. For one thing, he was using 3 Upstart Goblin instead of MST. I personally do not like, excuse me, I was about to say I don't like MST. I personally do not like Upstart Goblin at all. It does nothing for you. This deck can't really OTK, even with the double Brio combo, Wombo, or as I like to call it, Wombo combo. That was such a misplay of words. But anyways, I don't like Upstart Goblin at all in this. You're getting yourself a free +1, yes, but in Robbie's build, he was using 3 Rhoda, triple Colossus, triple Brio, like triple Manju even. Like, everything searches for itself practically, and there was just no reason to have 3 Upstarts in there. Like, you were in theory running a 37 card deck, but you were running even less than that because of the fact that you had so many searches. So it was kind of irrelevant to even have. And I found out that really with this build that I have now, Rhoda isn't even that necessary at all, because like as you'll see in this build, I only have 4 targets for Rhoda, and running 3 copies of it just isn't really that good. I actually talked with a dude on Dueling Network. I wish I had his screen name, or else I'd give him a shout out, but he doesn't have a YouTube channel anyway. He helped me out with the build a little bit as well. So he was a pretty chill guy. He actually mentioned Cycle to me, and well, they call it Illusions on here on DevPro, but it's actually called Necross Cycle. And at first, I was kind of iffy about the card, because Necloth aren't known for going into the grind game. They don't have a good grind game is their issue. That's one of their weaknesses. But Cycle kind of gives them that ability to somewhat go into the grind game. If you top deck a Cycle, you can just drop it and basically have free reign to make whatever it is you want. Yes, it does have the drawback of having to tribute from your hand or field. That is one of the reasons why I didn't really like it too much. But Kaleido Mirror basically had the same requirements, except you could send from the extra deck. And I say it basically had the same requirements because if you were using a Kaleido Mirror to summon basically anything except Unicorn, then it was basically a Necross Cycle. So, because all the other Necross can't be summoned by their exact level except for Colossalos, which you rarely ever summon as it is. I'm trying to fit in a third Vanity's Emptiness. I feel that 3 is so necessary this format. I really don't like 2. I like the ability to be able to run 3 and be able to get an ASAP. Denku Sekka and MSTs, God, they're so busted. I love Denku Sekka. I open this, even with just 2, I open this thing so freaking consistently. It is busted. Like, I sometimes am even surprised myself of how often I open with this damn card. And MST is just, it's MST. Like, if you open up Denku Sekka, you can just wreck their back row without even having to do anything. Or you can just hold on to the MSTs when they try to activate something. And you're just like, ha ha, you got rid of my Denku Sekka, but I have an MST. So, let's hop into this build here and I'll explain everything as I go along more in depth. Double Denku Sekka. I love that Robbie came up with this idea. Denku Sekka is a walking cold wave 1700 beat stick. I love when I'm going second and my opponent sets 5 and passes. No joke. This actually happened in a game. I was going second because you always want to go second with this deck if you can. But the hands kind of compensate for that if you end up going first. But anyways, so I go second. The opponent sets 5 passes. I draw. I already had a Denku Sekka in my hand, so I just drop it and I swing for 17. He's just salty. It was so funny. Or like another time, someone set 4 and I top decked Denku Sekka and I just dropped it and kept on poking for 17 for like 2 turns. He couldn't even do anything because his back row was completely just frozen. And then we're running 2 of each of the hands. I was kind of iffy about this. But as I thought more and more about it, I actually really like the hands in this deck. It really catches people off guard too because no one's really expecting the hands with all the Shaddolls being floaters, all the Burning Abyss being floaters. You wouldn't really expect the hands, but you also run double ice hand, which helps with back row. So you're in theory running 5 MSTs and 2 cold waves. So yeah, that seems pretty nice. And then the fire hand is just, you know, easy 1-for-1 removal. I like it, and it keeps your monster presence alive in case you need to make like if they don't swing into your fire hand and you like have an ice hand in hand, or if you top deck it, you can just drop it, make it exceed. I did not like Robbie's extra deck at all. I freaking hated it. I'm sorry, Robbie. I love you, but I did not like your extra deck at all. He wasn't running Exciton Knight. He was running Lobbable Chain. I have yet to even use Lobbable Chain, and that's after playing 50-plus games with this deck. So I was like, screw this. I want Exciton. And sure enough, there was a game that I could have won if I would have had Exciton. But no, I had Digesto Emerald, Castel, which wasn't going to help me in that situation, and Abyss Dweller, which I still have yet to use, and a Lobbable Chain. Yes, I certainly have options. So yeah, that's pretty much it with the hands. Then we run triple Manju. If you're not running triple, I don't know what you're doing. Senju really isn't needed. I mean, you're already, like, everything searches in itself. Like, you really don't need Manju, or, excuse me, Senju. For one thing, also, Senju is only going to search you, I believe it's the ritual spell. Well, one of them anyway. One of your 6. And Manju can search you just whatever you need. I was running triple Shrit. This was not making the deck inconsistent, but it was just making it sort of bleh. I wasn't really liking 3 sometimes. Sometimes I'd love it, and sometimes I would just hate it. 2 seems like the perfect number. Same thing with Trishula. Like, my buddy that I told you about from Dueling Network, he told me that 3 Trish can be inconsistent and can be cloggy. My argument was, even if it is cloggy, it's sitting in your hand for when you have a ritual on board and you can protect it from being targeted. But at the same time, I mean, if you're trying to accomplish that aspect, you're going to be just adding it to your hand anyway with a Brio or with a Shrit or whatever. So 2 actually seems like the perfect number. I'm really digging 2. Have there been times when I've wanted 3? Yeah. I might bump it up to 3. I really don't know. So far, 2's been working good. 2 Valkyries. I actually really like this. I'm basically running 2 Swift Scarecrows. The cost for it is a joke. I mean, I'm banishing basically, or most likely, a ritual from my grave just to send another one to my graveyard. Like, I'm not really losing anything there. And then Gungnir. His effect whenever he's on the board is actually pretty decent. And the fact that I can be able to protect any of mine from being destroyed by battle by card effects in case I don't have a Trish or if I run out is pretty good too. Triple Brio, triple Unicorn, double Colossalos are all pretty standard. Brio, free searches, Unicorn to recycle stuff, and Colossalos because you need to get your ritual spells ASAP. Triple Preparation of Rites, this is pretty standard in any Necloth deck. Yeah, it's preparation. Double Exo Mirror, double Kaleido Mirror, and double Cycle. Some builds will opt to run triple Exo and triple Kaleido. It all depends. I've noticed that there have been a couple different builds. Some people opt to just go with like Royal Decree and or Vanity's Emptiness. I don't like Decree at all because you have to first set it, and it's susceptible to things like Artifact Ignition, even Artifact Sanctum, MST at the end phase. Whereas I can just go Denku Sekka. I have another monster that I can exceed with if I need to, or that I can use for a tribute with one of my ritual spells, and it's a 1700 beater that that can just freeze all your traps. So, and then triple MST, I already explained. Book of Moon and Snatch Steal. Book of Moon I actually like. If the opponent tries to bottomless your Trish, which is fine by me for one thing, because even if you try to bottomless Trish, for one thing, he activates upon summon. So the only way that you're going to stop me from being able to banish your stuff is if you have a warning. And if you had warning, then you would have waited until I played the ritual spell. Just saying. Because then you wouldn't want me to get the plus off a Shrit. But anyways, that's beside the point. You bottomless my Trish. Cool. I still get to banish 3 of your cards. And if I don't feel like losing my Trish, let's Book a Moon him with his 2,000 ass. And then I still get to banish. So, it's just another way to protect your monsters. Snatch Steal, I love. This won me a game solely. I top decked it against Burning Abyss. Yeah, he had a Virgil and Acid Golem on board. And I had a Unicorn on board. I drop, and I saved my Unicorn because I had a Gungnir in hand. I top deck Snatch Steal, play it, take his Gungnir, and I think I also had a Trish on board. Or I think I went into a Trish and he just scooped. So Snatch Steal is so good. And then double Vanities, it's Vanities. Extra deck. 1 Shooting Quasar, Star Eater, Shooting Star for obvious reasons, Leo, Goyo, and double Arclight. I've seen some builds that run triple Arclight, and I don't know why. Like, yes, you're running 3 Unicorn, but that doesn't mean you have to have 3 Arclights. Because I can tell you right now, like I said, I've played 50-plus games with Necroz, or Necloth, whatever it is you want to call them, and I have yet to drop 3 Unicorn in a single game, and I have yet to even use 2 Herald of the Arclight. Like, you pretty much just use 1 at the beginning of the game, and that's pretty much it. But the problem is that you don't want to run 1 because there is going to be those very minor situations where you could end up using 2. So it all depends on what goes down in that game. But 2, I feel, is the perfect number. I've yet to make this, but I love having it for insurance purposes. Mirage Fortress Enterpriser, or Phantom Fortress Enterblather for its English name. This card is pretty busted. It's basically a Evil Storm Ouroboros. I can banish a card that you control, or I can banish one out of your hand, or I can banish a card in your grave, or I can banish the top card of your deck. But usually I'm going to probably be going for a card you control, or a random card in your hand, or if it's a mirror match, then something in your grave. But I have 2 turns to use both of, well, one of each of the effects. So Gaia Dragon, M7, and Exabeetle. You're not always going to want to do the double Brio Wombo combo, so M7's a good backup, and then Exabeetle and Gaia Dragon are pretty much self-explanatory. We got Castel, Exiton, Digesto, and Abyss Dweller for your rank 4s. Robbie was, like I said, he was running Lawful Chain. It's neat, it's cute, it gives you cute plays, but like I said, I played 50-plus games, and I never used Lawful Chain. I kept on wanting to go back to Exiton. Robbie's reasoning for it was that if you're going into Exiton, then you've already lost the game because Necloth don't bounce back well from the grind game. So, like, basically he's saying that if you're ending up going into Exiton, you're already low on resources as it is. You're going to be basically sitting on a 1900 beater hoping that it doesn't die. And I agree with that in a sense, but after testing, I mean, it's still a 1900 beater that they have to get around. And on top of that, too, I mean, you have Cycle. In my build, you have the hands. You have Denku Sekka to shut down their back row in case they try mounting a comeback. Granted, if you're in the grind game and some of these resources are gone, I understand that, but there are still ways to play out of a grind game, i.e. Snatch Steal, i.e. Book of Moon, i.e. Banny's Emptiness. The list goes on. He was running Salvage. I mean, okay, you can recycle your Shrit and Colossalos that I was originally running 3 of each of, but I don't know. It just seemed dead to me at times. So I swapped it out for Raigeki, and it seemed good. Raigeki was putting in work, but then I realized that it's just Raigeki's not the card it used to be, and Salvage just definitely wasn't cutting it, so I just took it out altogether and threw in Book of Moon. So yeah, guys, this is my build. If you want any other like explanations on the deck, let me know in the comments below. If you have any questions about it, feel free to message me or comment in the video down below, and be more than happy to help you guys out, and I might even make a part 2 to this, or just a discussion video on it. Alright, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe.